How do I get the most important things done? Boy, that's a question I get asked all the time. How do I stay focused? How do I make sure I'm moving things forward on QLA, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I think it's really important to remember that you can replace many things. You can replace property, you can replace money, but you can't replace time. And the older I get, the more I value time as the most precious resource that I have. So I would encourage you to treat that like it is your most important resource too. So one of the most important things you can do is to make an appointment with yourself. It's funny that you keep appointments with other people most of the time. I hope you do. So you make an appointment, you know what you're supposed to do, you know you're supposed to get there at a certain time, and I hope, again, that you are on time for that. But one of the things people don't do is make an appointment with yourself. I think that the most important person you have is you, and be selfish, certainly. So as you would with any other appointment, make an appointment with yourself. I would suggest you do that the night before. You can use a method like the self-journal. You can use a method like the Ivy-Lee, Ivyle, just Google it, method, in which you write down the things for the next day that are the most important things to get done to move the needle the most for you toward whatever your goals are. And put them in order. Put the one that moves the needle the most the first, then the second, then the third. And the thing that I think is really important that oftentimes is missed, just like an appointment, put a time next to that. So maybe from 5 to 6 a.m. in the morning, you're going to send LinkedIn connections, or maybe you're going to exercise, or whatever it is, but write down a time next to it as well. A tool that a lot of people have asked me about and was suggested that would be very helpful in understanding where your time goes is a free app. Although it in the beginning asks you to sign up for it, you can certainly turn it into a free service. But it's called Hubstaff, Hubstaff. You basically download that app, you create your activities, exercise, QLA, non-QLA, wasted time, sleep, whatever you want to put in there. You can put as many as you want. I wouldn't get too crazy with that. And then when you start that activity, you hit the start button. When you finish that activity, you hit the finish button. And after a week or whatever the time frame is you want to report on, it'll let you see exactly where that time went. I recently had a mentee who was tracking his time say to me, and a group, this was in a group setting, and I give him a lot of credit for speaking up in a group, that he spent between Facebook and YouTube 77 hours in 1 week. Wow. Now, he probably realized he was wasting a lot of time, but he probably didn't realize he was wasting that much time. So I'd encourage you to do that. Again, it's Hubstaff, Hubstaff. Just Google that, and I'm sure that that will end up helping you a lot. And then as you look back on those activities that you did in a day, rate them, or at least think about, okay, was that something that moved the needle for me? How valuable was that task? And if it wasn't, going forward, say, I'm going to cut that out. I'm going to cut that time out and put it to a more valuable endeavor that you want to work on. So you basically plan your time, and then you evaluate your time to make sure that it was well spent. If you want to know the secret sauce to QLA, it's to kiss a lot of frogs, take massive action, and most importantly, follow the QLA steps. Most people that have problems get into problems because they don't want to follow the steps. What they want to do is just jump to a deal, and that usually ends in a very bad place. So I'd encourage you to, just like a garden, plant the seeds that you want to have generate the results that you want. If you want to look back oftentimes at people that are successful 1, 2, 3 weeks ago, they were talking to a lot of people. They were sending a lot of connection requests, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So again, just like a garden, what you get is highly dependent upon the seeds that you plant. And if you want to think about this in terms of these times that we're going through, there's fear everywhere, there's chaos everywhere. That, I believe, is a perfect environment for QLA. And as somebody said to me, I think my team and me are a guiding light in the darkness. It's a little flowery, but I really like the thought behind that. Don't underestimate how much value to a potential acquisition target is in a team that's experienced, that can help guide them when they have chaos all around them. And if you're looking for the QLA steps, you can certainly get a lot of information online, but you can also go to my website, brucewhipple.com. There's free materials there, obviously. But I also was asked to create a boot camp that went into a deep dive on the steps of QLA, how to do it, tools to use, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I'd encourage you to take a look at that. Just go to the website under Work With Me and you'll see that boot camp, certainly. But it's a little less than, I think 2 minutes less than 12 hours of recordings there that take you step by step. So it's the best work I've done, certainly. But again, most important thing you can do is guard your time, use it wisely. And I hope that by planning your time, making appointments with yourself, using things like Hubstaff to track and evaluate your time, that you will be much more productive and you will get to your goal much more quickly. To your quantum leap. Okay, so if you have any questions or comments or ideas for future episodes, please email Bruce at brucewhipple.com. And if you're not already on our mailing list, head over to brucewhipple.com and sign up and grab any of the free reports. That'll put you on the mailing list. There is a lot of free information you can use to acquire already profitable businesses. This is Bruce Whipple. Thanks for listening to the Business Acquisition Podcast. And remember, you miss 100% of the opportunities you fail to take. And procrastination truly is the thief of time. So do something today, please. Your future self will be proud of you.